Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I heard your comments, but let me just say that your work uh, is to be commended, but it's like without discussion at all with the minority. I would say if this is the path you choose to pursue, I would want you to include if letters are being written or anything in consultation, that you just provide the committee uh, for which our rules call for that communication. And everything that you've said in your statement, we have no knowledge of. And I would hope that you honor the rules of the committee. It's not that we will disagree, but the courtesy of letting us know that, that we're going forward. Uh, but I want to push back on this notion that these amendments are poison pills. I'm afraid my Republican colleagues may be underselling our own leverage. There's no path forward for the Senate's 5-year clean extension bill, making this vehicle the only one in play. I have, in my history with CFATs and this committee, I've never known us to defer to the Senate and say, well, if they don't agree with us, we, for whatever reason, shouldn't go forward. We are a separate body, and at some point, if there's a difference, then we negotiate the difference. But under no circumstances should we just acquiesce without taking affirmative steps in what some of us consider the right direction. Moreover, these amendments we will be offering today were chosen specifically for the fact that they are narrow, modest measures that will not create new obligations or disturb operations, but still pack a big punch toward solving longstanding issues. Nearly all of these measures, Mr. Chairman, have been passed by this committee and reflect bipartisan consensus from past hearings, past oversight letters, and past Congresses. Historically, Republicans and Democrats have agreed on things like properly training CFATS inspectors, coordinating with first responders. A lot of us represent areas where those first responders are volunteers. And it's unfortunate that those individuals get out of their bed at night to fight whatever the challenge is. But if we can provide them with a measure of security by letting them know what is they're about to undertake, I think we're better positioned to do that. I mentioned the West Texas situation where we had volunteer firemen who thought they were going to just a fire, and it ended up ammonium nitrate was stored in the facility, and we had volunteer firemen who lost their life. Well, a robust adoption of one of these amendments will say that we will provide the necessary inspection so that those volunteer firemen who are going to perform that public service will actually know what they're going to. I talked about what happened in Newark at the cargo fire. It's unfortunate that 2 people lost their lives, but if there's more information that an inspection could provide those first responders, we desperately need to do that. We do not have to choose between reauthorizing CFATs or adopting these modest measures that will make the American people no more secure. We can do both today. What's more, if we don't, we'll be right back here 2 years forced into the same corner. Don't take my words for it. Let's take Senator Johnson on the Senate side. Here's what he said in 2018 when he was forced to accept a short-term extension after House Republicans failed to act. And I quote, the House is claiming they cannot possibly consider reforms because there's simply not enough time, because they haven't done any oversight, because they didn't mark up a bill in this Congress. The House Committee on Homeland Security has had years to act. Now I'm being threatened with a false choice reauthorize the program without reforms, or let it die. Today, we have the opportunity to act. Let's not squander that. Mr. Chairman, you talked about asking GAO to do another study. I have 15 studies that GAO has already done on the CFATS program. And I'd like to enter those 15 studies into the record.
With no objection, we'll enter those into the record.
Thank you. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman yields. One quick point. You know, we don't have to wait 2 years, but we do have a deadline on the 27th of July. So we can absolutely get this thing going, get it clean. The Senate will do it this way. If we come to our agreement in 6 months, we can reauthorize for 5 years with the changes we implement. It's just between now and the 27th, getting it passed on the floor of the House, committee in the Senate, floor of the Senate. We need a vehicle that can make that happen quickly. And I've been given guarantees that that with a clean reauthorization, 2 years, we can get that done. So this is a plan to keep it alive.
Mr. Chairman, just so we can.
Yeah, sure.
So we can come back, but the Senate has to agree to it.
No, that's true. That's right. We got to sell it. You're right. We'll have to sell it, just like we'd have to sell the amendments we stick on it today.
Absolutely.
But we would just be under a timeline today.